So in this video, you're going to learn trigonometry. So in fact, you're going to learn how to determine a value of theta between 0 and 90 degrees. And these are the questions. And then we're not going to be doing this question here, question 4, but we're going to jump to question 5. Question 4 deserves its own video, but I can able to combine question 3 and question 5. And question 5 is basically about rhombus. So you're going to learn a lot about the properties of rhombus and how to apply those properties of rhombus to essentially answer a question like this. Let's go. Question 3, determine the value of theta by using a calculator if theta is between 0 degrees and 90 degrees, okay? So this is how you do it if this is the case. So let's go. So 3.1.1, if you have tan theta is equal to 4.96, so to find the value of theta, we're going to just take the inverse of tan, then you can able to find theta. So you just say theta is equal to tan inverse of 4.96, okay? And then you punch that in your calculator, say shift tan in your calculator, or punch that shift tan 4.96, you should get 78.60 degrees. So theta is equal to 78.60 degrees, and your answer is, so you just get 1 mark for that. Basically, it is that easy. Okay, for 3.2, so you have 2 sine 2 theta minus 10 degrees is equal to 1. So what you do here is you can divide by 2 on both sides, right? What you do on your left hand side, you do on your right hand side. So you have sine 2 theta minus 10 degrees is equal to half. And again, you take the inverse of sine. So you have 2 theta minus 10 degrees is equal to sine inverse of half, right? So you punch that in your calculator, shift sign, you get the sine inverse of half. If you do that, you get that this is 30 degrees. So you have 2 theta minus 10 is equal to 30 degrees. From here, it becomes easy. You take the 10 degrees, put it on your right hand side, becomes positive. So you get 30 degrees plus 10, that is 40. So 2 theta is equal to 40 degrees. And then you can then divide by 2 on both sides. So theta is equal to 20 degrees. Okay, 40 divided by 2 is 20. And then you get your mark for the answer. You get a mark for doing this. Of course, it's 3 marks. So you're going to end there, also get a mark for doing that. Okay, so that's basically your 3 marks. Now let's go to question 5. Again, we're not going to be doing question 4. We're going to be doing question 5 and do properties of the rhombus. So basically question 5 says, name 2 properties of the rhombus. So I'm going to give you a couple of them, right? So that you just know them by heart. These are the properties of a rhombus. And I'm not going to write them down, but I'm going to just show you how to remember them. It's easy to do that than me have to write them down and you have to memorize them. Okay, so this is how a rhombus will look like. The first property that you need to remember is this one here. Opposite sides are parallel. Opposite sides are parallel. Okay, that's what you need to remember. The first one, opposite sides are parallel. Write that down. Another one, which is very interesting, is all sides are equal, which makes a rhombus just a skew square, right? It's a square, but it's skewed a little bit. Okay, so all sides are equal. Another one that you need to know is opposite sides, opposite angles are equal. Opposite angles are equal. Okay, and what else? This line here, let's say you have a line that goes through that bisects this angle, And then the result says, then therefore, so this line bisects the angles. So it cut them into equal angles, depending how you write it down. And then, so even this one here, it does the same thing. So if this is x, become x and x, become x and x. Okay. Another thing is, these line at the center here where they meet, they make a 90 degrees angle. So depending on how which one you want to write, just write two. In this question, they just want two. Okay. The first one is opposites sides are parallel. Second one is all sides are equal. Third one is the line bisects the angles. And also the lines that are bisecting angles, they form a right angle triangle. Sorry, they form a right angle, or they form a 90 degrees angle. That's 5.2. Okay, those are the properties of the rhombus. And 5.2, we're then gonna use the properties of the rhombus, okay, to calculate C. And you are told C is equal to 2x minus 60. And what do we know? We know that if this is a rhombus, we know that this here, let me just use green, this angle and this angle are equal, right? That's the property of a rhombus. So we know that x plus 20 degrees is equal to 2x minus 60 degrees. Okay, and your reason here is just say properties of a rhombus. Okay, because we're told this is a rhombus, so therefore opposite angles are equal. And then you can just solve for x. So you're gonna take x, put in your on the right hand side, becomes negative. So you're gonna have 2x minus x, and you're gonna take 60 degrees, put in your negative 60 degrees, put in the left hand side, becomes positive. So you're gonna have 60 degrees plus 20. So 2x minus x is equal to x. 60 plus 20 is equal to 80 degrees. Okay, so that's your x. And then now they say determine the value of C, right? C is equal to 2x minus 60. So C is equal to, angle C is equal to 2x minus 60 degrees. So 2x we've calculated as 80 degrees minus 60. And then you can just punch this in your calculator and you get, or you can just write it down. So I mean, 2 times 80 is 160 minus 60. This is equal to 100 degrees. So C is equal to 100 degrees. And then this is 2 marks. So you get a mark for X and you get a mark for C. Let me know if you've got questions on this particular properties of rhombus. It's very interesting perspective, and you are always gonna be asked about this question, and you're always gonna be asked about question 3. It's always gonna come. So if you understand it, you've secured yourself 4 marks and plus another 4 marks. That's just good clean 8 marks. Let me know if you got questions or more questions about this. I'm happy to look at them and go through them with you, and I'll see you in the comments. Boom.